Fallout 3 is a game I adore. Its ability to grip you into its rather boring and dull world is one to be praised for. Many people who haven't played any of the games in the Fallout franchise see Fallout 3 as practically unplayable due to its green and gray overlay. Admittedly, it is gross looking, and its gameplay doesn't help it, as it is extremely clunky and unresponsive. But that just shows how good Fallout 3's storytelling is. People still praise the game indefinitely despite its look and feel. I want to show you why the game is so engaging. I know I said storytelling, but what do I mean storytelling? I feel the best way to define that is by going through the introduction to the game, which offers the first taste to its post-apocalyptic world. The intro is what got me really immersed in its world, and in Fallout as a series, being first exposed to Fallout through Fallout 3. It perfectly exemplifies what is gripping in the franchise in terms of its storytelling, which, in my opinion, is the drive for the franchise. So without further ado, let's dive right into Fallout 3 with a summary of the intro sequence. Once you load up a new game, you get a cinematic that shows the dreary atmosphere of the Capital Wasteland, the game's setting. After, a monologue begins as pictures appear on screen. The narrator talks about the idea prominent in the Fallout franchise, that war never changes. The concept that humans have an inherent nature to pursue war. The war that led to the Wasteland is described as the destructive nature of man not being able to sustain any longer. The world being plunged into an abyss of nuclear fire and radiation. Finally, transitioning to the playable section of the intro, the narrator talks about underground shelters known as vaults, which offered protection from the nuclear holocaust. The vault the game centers around is Vault 101, which is known to allow no one to enter or to ever leave. On that menacing note, the playable intro begins. You see your character being born. Here you create your character's look and meet your dad, which plays a vital role in the game. You quickly shift to a later time in your life. You are a toddler. You find out your mom didn't survive your birth, and you learn a little more about her and your father. You also get the chance to set up your starter stats. Fast forward to your 10th birthday. This is when the game really begins to present its world, which right now is confined to the bunker. This is the first time you can interact with other characters, which helps in world building. You meet your friends and the other Vault members. Amada, your best friend, offers you a present and wishes you a happy birthday, which you can choose to respond however you want. Butch, the bully, tries to anger the player through his constant whining and insulting. Besides those major two, you can talk to others which inform you about the atmosphere of the vault and its people. After a little conversating, your father tells you that there's a surprise gift on the reactor level. You now have access to your Pip-Boy, which acts as the main menu and was given to you at the beginning of the birthday party by the Overseer, the person in control of the vault, and Amada's dad. Once you reach the reactor level, you get access to a BB gun. This offers a shooting tutorial for the game. Eventually, you transition to yet another time in your life. You're 16 and have to take the GOAT test. The GOAT test determines which job you'll get as an adult. It helps establish the bleak and strict nature of Vault 101. You get one chance to get randomly selected a job you'll be stuck with for the rest of your life, and it's all based on questions that have nothing to do with what job you'll get. Anyway, you also get to see all your childhood friends again at a now older age. Amada is still your best friend, and Butch is still the bully. Having more time with them allows for further connection to them. You take the test, and no matter what job you get, it isn't important. Finally, flash forward one final time, and now is when things start to get intense. Amada wakes you up to tell you your dad has left the vault, which completely catches the character off guard, especially since no one has ever left or is allowed to leave the vault. She continues on saying the Overseer's guards are looking for you, and they've killed one of the vault members your dad was close to. She thinks you're going to have to leave the vault also, or you'll be killed by the guards. On that note, she offers you a pistol, which you can either accept or refuse. She tells you the only way out of the vault, which she knows being the Overseer's daughter, and comments that she'll try to meet you at the exit. She ends the conversation and runs off. Now you must sneak through the vault to get to the exit. Along the way, you run into Butch. Butch announces that his mom is being attacked by rad roaches, radioactive cockroaches, and he wants you to save her. Respond however you want. Help him, leave him after the way he has treated you, or if your speech skill is high enough, convince him to save his mom himself. Either way, after the encounter, you continue on. You run into Officer Gomez, one of the ones looking for you, and get dialogue that helps solidify the hell the vault has been put into due to your father's actions.
Anybody again? Oh, you're lucky it was me who found you. The others won't be so forgiving. I don't know what you're up to, and I don't want to know. Just clear out of here, and I'll pretend I never saw you. It's a real shame it's come to this. I can't believe what they did to Jonas. Officer Mack was just out of control. But you're a good kid. You didn't do anything to deserve this. Go find your dad if you can.
Unlike Officer Gomez, you witness several people in the vault that once like you shun you for your father causing the vault to go into chaos. Eventually you find Amada being confronted by her father, the Overseer, the one who wants you dead. Depending on if you took the pistol Amada offered you or not, you'll get a different outcome for the sequence. The preferred option is where she has the pistol, but you interfere so she runs off, not harming anyone and not being harmed. The most impactful outcome I feel, though, is where she has the pistol but you don't interfere. You witness her being pushed to her limits until she finally snaps in fear and shoots one of the guards, killing him.
Officer Mack, don't just stand there!
Don't make me take that gun away from you, girlie. Just hand it over. Be nice and easy now.
No! Get away from me!
Oh my God, Amata! What have you done?
After, you can kill the Overseer, or just ignore him despite his threats. Finally, leaving all that behind, you reach the exit Amada talked about, and turn the lever to the giant vault door leading out of the vault. You witness the massive rusty door that hasn't been touched in years rotate open. It screeches as it moves. Amada runs down to meet you. She says her final goodbye to you, and you walk out into the tunnel bridging Vault 101 to the outside world. Guards flood into the vault entrance room trying to grab you, but once you are in the small tunnel, off vault grounds, the guards back off, too afraid to follow you. Walk a little further and look back to see the metal door slide shut behind you, locking you out once and for all. Once you get the courage, you walk out into the capital wasteland, finally, after all this time. Your eyes are blinded as you experience sunlight for the first time in your life. The whole world is shown before you as cinematic music swells. Landmarks and other places left after the nuclear war are displayed. Now you are on your own, to chase your father and to start whatever other path you choose. So why does all that prove Fallout 3's brilliance? A 30-minute long, boring process through your character's life. The brilliance is in the fact that it perfectly invests you and sets the tone for the rest of the game. You are connected to your character, and the world you are entering. Your character just had his whole life switch in a matter of 10 minutes. The characters you bonded with up to this point, the prime example being Amada, were just taken from you. Everything you ever knew isn't important anymore. You can feel what your character would be feeling, alone, scared, lost, and unprepared. Instead of the game throwing you into its world with your character already having prior knowledge, you know just as much as your character. Nothing. You have no idea what's waiting for you out there at all. The only info you know of the wasteland are the differing, ignorant opinions the vault dwellers give you. The biggest perspective being the Overseer's, which sees the wasteland as so terrifying and awful that he's willing to kill people he's known his whole life in order to keep the outside world from getting in. On top of knowing nothing of this world, you know of another world, a more comforting world, and cite Vault 101, a safe, predictable world with people that care about you. You can't go back though. The only remnant of that world left for you is your dad, who is somewhere out in the wasteland with you. This drives you to chase him, somehow feel that protection again. Fallout's world is meant to be one that evokes fear and dread, and your whole experience up to leaving Vault 101 totally fuels that. It gives the world character, even if it is a threatening character, that you wouldn't understand having not played the intro or a Fallout game in general before. Without the intro, you wouldn't feel as afraid, as lost. You wouldn't feel the way you are supposed to feel. Despite that dreary outlook though, it's not all bad. You don't know the good that sits within the muck. You want to explore over time. Find out what happened to the world, and why is everyone so afraid of it? Is there any good left? What interesting things can you find? Going with your character having the same perceived notions as you makes the world more enjoyable, even if it is scary and awful. Fallout 3's power lies in its storytelling. It's able to get you invested in its world despite the dreary and gross outlook. This is because of your character, because of the build-up, because of humans' interest in the unknown. Fallout 3 is an incredible game and will live on as one of the greatest open-world games of all time. Anyways guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, comment, whatever you feel. And make sure to share this video. This is something I want to talk about, and I hope that it gives you some insight, and if you haven't played Fallout 3, it makes you want to play it. Anyway guys, I'll see you in the next one.